Imagine a world caught in the grip of a terrible famine. Every single day is a fight for survival, and for one family, they are right on the edge of breaking. And at the heart of their despair is one man, a son, a brother, who they see as completely and utterly worthless.
They call him Shaowen. To them, he's a good-for-nothing, a disgrace. But what they don't know, what they can't possibly see, is that the man standing before them isn't the son they remember. He's been reborn into this harsh world, and he's carrying a secret that's about to change everything. It's a heck of a story about transformation. And before we dive in, if you enjoy stories like this one, please consider following the channel and sharing this. It truly helps this community grow and lets me bring more of these to you. So, what is this incredible secret?
Well, it's an internal voice, a guide that Xiaowen calls the Foresight System. As he's waking up in a world that pretty much hates him, the system just activates. It gives him a peek into the future, a way out of the starvation that's squeezing the life out of his family. And it's not some grand prophecy, not at first. It's just a tiny, simple piece of luck. The message couldn't be clearer, but it's almost impossible to believe. A rabbit, food, real meat. For a family that hasn't tasted meat in over a year, this isn't just a meal, it's a miracle. But to get it, he has to face something even colder than the snow outside, his own family's judgment. He tells them, "I'm going up the mountain. If I catch a rabbit, we'll have meat tonight." And they just scoff. His own father accuses him of sneaking off to hang out with his deadbeat friends. He can hear the children whispering that their uncle is bad. But he goes anyway. And just as the system predicted, there it is. A big, dead rabbit, half buried in the snow. For the first time in a very long time, hope feels real. But of course, it's not that easy. On the way home, his past literally walks right up to him. Jean Sampa, this lazy moocher who represents everything the old Xiaowen was, sees the rabbit and demands he hand it over. But this isn't the old Xiaowen. "Did I say you could have it?" he asks, his voice like ice. When Sampa tries to threaten him, Xiaowen doesn't back down. He stands his ground. It's a small moment, but it's a huge victory. It's the first real step in becoming someone new. He thinks he's bringing home a solution, but instead, he walks right into another crisis. His fiancé's family is there, and they're demanding an insane bride price, 30 taels of silver. For a family that's lucky to have 3, it's a death sentence. It would mean selling their land, the only thing keeping them from total ruin. His family is just crushed. But Xiaowen, he sees this engagement for the curse it truly is. And when his fiancé's mother dares to insult his own late mother, something just snaps. He holds up the rabbit and says the words that suck all the air out of the room. "I'm not marrying her anymore." He doesn't just get their money back. He reclaims their family's dignity. That night, the smell of rabbit stew fills their tiny home. It's the first real, hearty meal they've shared in what feels like an eternity. And as the children eat, their faces just light up. And in that moment, he's not the bad uncle anymore. He's the provider. He's the best. It just goes to show you how a single act of providing can start to heal a family that's completely broken. The very next day, the system guides him again, this time to find pheasants. He takes his young nephews with him, but then, disaster. One of them, little Owen, slips and falls into a pit crawling with snakes. Everyone panics, but Xiao Yaoan, thanks to his strange new knowledge, stays perfectly calm. He knows exactly which herbs nearby will repel the snakes. He talks his nephew through it, lowers a rope, and pulls him out to safety. Coming home not just with food, but with the children safe and sound, that was the real turning point. His father, a man made hard by years of disappointment, finally sees it. He sees the change. That evening, he pulls out his old hunting bow. "Learn to use this," he says, "and it's yours." He starts teaching his son, passing down a legacy he thought was gone forever. Trust was finally being rebuilt. A few days later, they're in town selling their catch when the Foresight System gives him another bizarre tip. It points him to this rusty, worthless-looking knife at a stall, and the price? It's astronomical. 1.5 taels of silver, enough grain to feed them for the whole winter. It makes no sense, but he trusts the system. He buys it. You can just imagine his father's reaction. He is furious. All that newfound trust just evaporates.
He sees this piece of junk and thinks his son has slipped right back into his old foolish ways. In a fit of absolute rage, he grabs the wooden box the knife came in and smashes it on the ground, yelling at Xiaozhuan for wasting the money that could have saved them all. But as the broken pieces of the box lie scattered on the floor, Xiaowen notices something odd. One of the wooden panels is way heavier than it should be. He sees these faint little gaps along the edges. It's a false bottom. The system wasn't telling him to buy the knife. It was telling him to buy the box. He pries it open and finds the real treasure. Tucked inside isn't silver or gold or jewels. It's a book, a legendary martial arts manual called Thunder Fist. This is the secret to real power. His father, who used to be a foot soldier, he gets it immediately. This isn't about hunting rabbits anymore. The system didn't guide his son to a little bit of wealth. It guided him to unimaginable strength. His father just looks at him, completely breathless. All that anger is gone, replaced by this staggering, incredible realization. This single discovery changes everything. It's not about surviving the winter anymore. This is about the rise of their entire family, all led by the son he had completely written off as a failure. And just like that, a new journey begins. In the quiet of their yard, Xiaowen starts to practice the stances from Thunder Fist. His muscles scream, his body aches with the effort, but with every single painful stance, he is forging a new man. He's not just a provider anymore, he's becoming a warrior. Xiaowen's journey began because his family was starving, but now he's on a path to power he never could have dreamed of. He's begun to heal his family, but in a world this dangerous, strength always attracts attention. And his greatest challenges, they are absolutely still to come. If this story moved you or made you think, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And make sure to follow for more stories just like this.